Hey ladies, and welcome to today's video on how to deal with your monthly cycle when you're dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome. And I think this would be useful for anyone who's kind of going through fatigue issues or chronic illness, because this can really affect how you feel in the lead up and post cycle. Obviously, I am a guy, so I don't really have a true understanding of what you're going through. But what I can say is that I've worked with over 3,000 people. 3 out of 4 people are female in our programs that have gone through it. So this is something that's a common problem with a lot of female clients. And there's some things that you can do to make this, this week a lot easier, and in the lead up and also post cycle, to kind of come out of it feeling a little bit better, or at least not feeling like you've totally lost all your hard work the 3 weeks beforehand. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen, kind of done a little drawing for you guys here. So as you can see, factoring in your monthly cycle, this is super important in your recovery process, because ultimately what's going on here is your body is doing a whole bunch of things, and we have to factor that in. We can't just be like, oh, well, I'm just getting my period and that's that, and I should just continue on as my day normally, because we've got to factor in what your body is actually going through in that week, in the pre-phase and then post-phase. So as you can see here, this little diagram, let's say before you get your period, this is what's happening. There's kind of like a huge surge in energy in terms of production through your body. And then all of a sudden, once you're kind of in the cycle itself, you kind of have this crash out. And this is where you have mood swings. And I mean, healthy people get this. So I think you need to factor that in too, knowing that healthy people who don't have chronic fatigue syndrome experience the highs and the lows of going through their monthly cycle. So that's really important to notice. So basically, it's just a more severe version of that. And then there's this kind of bottom out or crash, and then it's like a slow, incline towards back to normal baseline. Okay. So what we have to do, girls, is really remember before this actually happens in your monthly cycle, what are the energy drains? Okay, so you can see here, I've written here, we need to know the output of energy. We don't want to be like spending all our credits before this week of your month. Yeah, you don't want to get to it and you just feel totally exhausted. You got no credits in the bank and you're just totally smashed. Okay, physically and emotionally, your body is going through changes, right? You're going through hormonal changes, and we need to factor that in. And so if you can have the awareness like, oh, this is what I'm going through, and yeah, I need to kind of, increase my self-care prior to the lead up of getting your period, you are going to be much better able to go through it with a bit more ease and less pain, and then move out of it quicker too. So factoring in hormones, and then also factoring your stress levels physically and emotionally. So what I mean by that is, we don't want to be putting too much physical stress on the body. As an example, intense exercise or even moderate exercise for that matter. And if you're not exercising at all, it could be, pushing yourself beyond your means prior to getting your period. Probably not smart. And also factoring in emotional stress as well. How are you going with that? What's going on in your life at the moment? Becoming aware of what are the emotional triggers and stresses in your life, and working through them, rather than kind of putting to the side if there's conflict in a relationship or if there's conflict with family or friends, kind of dealing with it in the right moment. Now, probably not during your cycle, because that's probably not a good idea, but, picking times, to let go of what you're holding on to can be really such a healing experience and really powerful for you as well. So if we go here, what I've written here, this is the pro steps, yeah? So we've got energy gains. This is the plus signs. This is what we really want to focus on. Where can we plan and prepare for this week for you? So what I mean by that is, we want to see kind of a slight decline in output of energy, and instead we want to focus on input of energy. The term that I use with my clients is we work in or we work out. Working in is restorative, it's rejuvenative, and it's giving us energy. Working out is outward, external work where it actually excretes energy from our body. Yeah, nothing wrong with it as long as you're doing what's appropriate for you, and also you're feeling okay. Basically, we just don't want to feel any worse than you currently feel. All right. So, what are some things that you can do to increase the energy in the week, or at least the days prior to getting your period? And so some of the things might be some restorative breathing exercises. It might be backing off your movement plan. It might be going to bed a little bit earlier. It might be, having a bath. It might be, journaling. It just might be just slowing things down in the 3 days beforehand that you start to feel it coming on. Okay. And this has a huge effect. Like, I've seen so many of our clients do this and do this stuff, and it's just been so transformational for them and made their monthly cycle so much easier to get through. So what we also want to factor in is the energy out. What are the things that we can offload or create boundaries and get help around us that could make our life easier? So maybe if you've got a partner, it could be, hey babe, do you mind if you do the heavy stuff for the next kind of 6 days, maybe doing the washing, the vacuuming around the house, whatever's just going to take that stress away from you. It might be 1 or 2 things, and they could be really simple things, but just not having to worry about that just for the next 2 or 3 days might be so good for you. So that can be really helpful. The next thing, this is what you can do to control some things. So nutrition, food is fuel. Meal frequency and the type of food that you're eating is going to play a huge role in your energy production. And because your body is using so much energy throughout this week, what we want to do is aid it. Yeah, so give it the energy that it needs to keep going. So my suggestion with this is just an invitation, if you're not doing it already, make sure you're having balanced meals with good carbohydrates, so low GI food, and also protein. So you want to have a 50-50 split, and you want your meal frequency to be regular, so every 3 to 4 hours, because that's going to keep your blood sugar levels up. If you space your meals out way too long, you're going to basically feel like you're just, there's a lack of energy, yeah? So you just want to make sure that you're constantly really aware of the intake of food that you're having and the frequency of it. Obviously, you don't want to go and eat huge meals, but just it could be small meals, literally the palm size of your palms. But yeah, 50% protein, 50% carbohydrates. It'll give you the steady blood sugar levels that will keep you going throughout the entire day. And also hydration, making sure that we're sipping on our water throughout the day to stay hydrated. Super, super important. So I've also written here pre-restorative rest. So actually planning some pre-restorative rest in your day. It could be at 11 a.m. I'm going to sit down and meditate for 20 minutes, or I'm going to put my legs against a wall for 10 minutes, or I'm going to lay on the couch with my eyes closed and just chill out for half an hour, or whatever it is for you. It could be 5 minutes, could be 2 minutes, whatever. Everyone's different. You've got to just choose what's appropriate for you. This is what we do in our program. We identify that for you and then help you set up a plan with that. But if you're just on your own at home, then yeah, just do what's appropriate for you. You know your body better than anyone else. Tune into it. Planned rest before you get to the red light. And this is what I mean. So basically, don't wait until you're exhausted to then rest. Just pre-plan a little bit of rest. Literally just put it in your diary or your calendar and set the alarm and go, okay, I'm going to just chill out for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And do it twice a day or 3, whatever you need. Some people need 5 times a day. Some people need 1 or 2, just depends. But pre-plan rest, and do not wait till you're at the red light to rest. Get to the orange light and then rest. And this is just a common thing that I see with so many of our clients. They just push, and then they just crash. And so one of the biggest things we help our clients with straight away is literally laying the foundation of a good, healthy, solid baseline that's appropriate for them so they can actually do their life and manage it without having all these ups and downs all the time. Like I said before, if you can offload some heavy duty stuff, light activities is fine, and you keeping moving and just doing things that are appropriate for you which will be good if you stick to the orange light theory, or stay in the green light and orange light rather than getting to the red. But if you're always in the red, then activity isn't going to be as useful for you. And then on the reintegration phase of coming out of your monthly cycle, what would be really useful for you is regathering. So basically, it's kind of like, imagine coming out of a cocoon. You basically just want to start to reintegrate back into life. Start to move a little bit more, start to take on a few different things that you normally would do the week before you got your period. Rebuilding, just kind of coming into it nice and easily. Don't feel like you have to kind of rush into everything full stop. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more challenging for you if you've got kids as well. And so if that's the case too, then just tune in. Just tune in, do what you can, be flexible. There's no perfect, and this is the other point. Stop trying to get everything perfect and just do what's appropriate for you, and pre-plan these things. There's that saying, poor preparation. If you prepare, prepare to fail. If you don't prepare to fail. And so pre-planning is going to be useful. Luckily, girls are really good at that, mostly. I can definitely speak for myself in that context. And then moving forwards, once you're rebuilding, you're getting back into your week after post-period, then just moving forwards and getting back into your life. And that will be really, really helpful. And this will stop this kind of up and down feeling that you kind of have. Instead of this kind of up and down, kind of yo-yo, what we want to do is just smooth it out a little bit. You might not still feel as good, but you can see there that it's a lot better than kind of having this up and down experience for yourself. So I hope that helps. Just a quick recap. Prepare, literally pre-rest, pre-rejuvenative rest, pre-restorative rest. Factor that in. Factor in your nutrition. Food is fuel. It's going to be so valuable for you, and meal frequency is very important for your blood sugar levels. Stay hydrated. Ask for help if you need it too. I think that's important in those days. And then, let's not get to the red light and then rest. Let's at least stop at the orange light and add in some restorative, rejuvenative rest. It will help you keep going about your day and getting on top of it. So I hope this really helps. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. There is so many valuable videos on this YouTube channel already. So my invitation to you is literally scroll through the videos. There's years and years and years worth of videos, and they're not outdated. Some of the stuff is just really timely and timeless. So I hope that helps. I'll leave a link in the description for some free resources for you. So there's a free training on how to create your own baseline, which will kind of get you started on this foundation, laying the foundations. And then also I'll leave you with some inspiring stories of other people, women and men, who have recovered and have done really well, and share their story of that. So that'll give you some hope. Hope this really helps. Leave a comment if there's anything that you found helpful for yourself in this time. Let's add this to the list. Keep the comments clean. Keep them supportive. This channel is really about practical, positive help. All the best for now. We'll speak to you soon.